Hey there, I'm Tiyani. Welcome back to our Power Platform tutorial series. In today's video, we're diving into how to call an API from a Power Platform cloud flow. Whether you're integrating external systems, fetching data from Dataverse, or automating complex workflows, calling APIs is a powerful way to extend the capabilities of Power Automate. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to get the necessary credentials like your tenant ID, client security, and API endpoints. Getting an authentication token using Postman, using the token to call an API in Power Automate. Send an email notification with the API response and simplify the process using pre-authenticated actions in Dataverse. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button, smash the thumbs up button, and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Your support helps keep this content coming. So let's get started. Before we can call an API, we need to gather some essential details. Head over to the Entra Admin Center. On the Entra Admin Center, you'll land on the home page. You will be able to see tenant IDs. We can just copy the tenant ID and back it up on Notepad. Head over to Applications and expand it. Click on App Registrations. On the App Registrations page, select all applications and select the application that you want to gather information about. For this demonstration, we are going with Power Platform DevOps. Once it's loaded, copy the application ID, which is also called the client ID, by clicking on the icon next to the GUID, and also the tenant ID, which is the same as the one that we got from the home page. When you look to your right, you will see the label Client Credentials. I've got two secrets. You can click on it, and then on this page, you'll be able to get your secret IDs or the values, or you can ask your Entra admin to give it to you. Let's go back one step on the app registration. Let's click again, Power Platform DevOps. Now we need to get the API endpoints. Click on Endpoints. And then we're gonna go with OAuth 2.0 token endpoint v2. Just click on the copy icon next to it. Now we have it backed up on Notepad. We'll be heading over to Postman to verify that we can get the token. Now that we have the tenant ID, client secret, and the API endpoint, let's use Postman to get the authentication token. On Postman, we need to create a new request. Click on the plus button. Let's set the request type to post. Let's use the endpoint URL that we got from Entra for getting the token. In the header tab, let's add the content type to be application of xww-form-url encoded. And then now let's move on to the body tab. On the body tab, let's select xww-form-url encoded. And we need to specify a couple of keys and their values. We'll start with the grant type, being client credentials, and then followed up by the client ID, the client secret, and also the scope or resource. Now that we've got everything sorted, let's click on the send button. If everything is correct, we'll receive a JSON response with an access token. Great, we can see the response is 200 OK, meaning that we've been verified and we got a response back from the server. You will see the access token that I was talking about. Let's copy this access token and back it up somewhere like in Notepad to verify that this token actually works because it's only valid for an hour. Let's make a call to the Dynamics 365 API. Click on the plus and put in your request URL. There's our request URL, and then on headers, let's add the authentication type. Our authentication type is bearer. Let's put in bearer and space and paste the token value that we backed up. And let's put another key, the accept, and its value should be application/JSON. And let's click on send. And now we've received the JSON response with the latest deployment pipeline details. This is the same process we're going to replicate in Power Automate. Let's switch over to the Power Platform Maker portal. On the Maker portal, let's head over to Solutions, and create a new solution. Let's call this solution API Demo. Select the publisher, click Create. Once our solution is loaded, let's click on New, Automation, Cloud Flow. We're gonna go with the Schedule 1 for demonstration purposes. We can set it to run every 5 minutes, and let's call it API Request Demo. Click on Create. Let's add an HTTP action to get the token. Click on New Step, and on the search, type in HTTP action. Click on HTTP. We are going with the first option on the list. Now that we've got it on our Power Automate Cloud Flow, let's click on the method type. Remember, on Postman, it was a post, so we're gonna go with post. And the URL, you can copy from Notepad or from Postman. For the body, we're gonna paste the same body values that we had in Postman. Don't forget to save your changes as you go along. Don't forget about the headers, the content type. If you want to verify that this action is working correctly, you can go and click on Test, select manually, and click on Test. Click on Run Flow. Click on Done, and it's gonna start running your flow. Our flow shows that there is no issues, and we actually went through the authentication process, same as we did in Postman. Now let's continue to the next step of adding another HTTP action to use the token to get our results back from the Dynamics API. Click on New Step. Let's search for HTTP. Select HTTP and the first option on the list. We need to get the deployment pipeline, so let's rename it a bit. And the method is a get. Let's put in the request URL that we had in Postman and the same headers as we did in Postman. So because we've got the token from the first action that we did, now we need to pass the access token from the action results that we got. To do this, click on the text box next to bearer and then scroll down. On the dynamic content, we don't have anything that says access token. We need to pass the results into a JSON parser action in between the two actions. Click on the plus in between the HTTP actions, add an action, and then let's look for parse JSON. There it is. Click on it. Let's pass the body of what we got back from the token request. And then for the schema, generate one from the results that we got from Postman. Let's head over to Postman and copy that. Copy everything. Click on generate from sample. Paste those results and click on done. This has generated the schema for us using that sample data we passed. When we go to the next action, the HTTP get deployment pipelines. Click on the text box and then scroll down on the dynamic content. You should be able to see access token, and there it is. Click on it. Now it is added to the headers. Let's finish up the headers by putting in the OData Max version and also the OData version, which will be the same version 4.0. And that's it to actually passing the access token to our request to authenticate our request to get back the deployment pipelines. Let's move on to the next stage where we use the results that we got from the API request. Click on New Step. Let's pass in the JSON results that we got back. On content, let's put in the body of the get deployment pipelines. We can do the same thing that we did for the other action to generate the schema. Now let's add the last step for our flow. Sending an email notification. Click New Step. And it's the second one. Select it. On the subject, put in deployment pipeline : the name of the pipeline. To get that, we need to go through the dynamic content. On pass JSON to, select name. Since we are getting back an array, it puts it in an apply to each. For the body, put in additional details about that deployment pipeline. And now that we're done with our flow, let's save and test it out. Click on Test, Test, and Run Flow. done, this is going to start our flow. And as you can see, it was already ran successfully. So what happened? We actually got it to get a token, and after the token, we passed the results to a JSON parser, which enables us to go in and use those values in the new action. In the new action, we passed in all the relevant header information to actually get this request authenticated and bring back the results. And here is our results on the body. We passed these body results into another JSON parser, enable us to use the data in the next action. In the next action, we are sending through an email notification. And if you go through the email notification, you will see that the subject has a runtime value, which is QA to prod, and also on the body, we have the status, the pipeline name, and also when it was created, the date and the time. But if you're using Dataverse, there's an easier way to call APIs without manually handling tokens. Let's use a pre-authenticated action. Click on Edit, and we're gonna put this action just before our first HTTP action. Click on Insert a new step, add an action, and search for invoke an HTTP request. And then look for invoke an HTTP request pre-authorized. And now what we need to do, we need to specify the method, which for in this case, it's a get. Instead of putting the whole URL, we're gonna start on the /API/data and the version, which is v9.2, and then the rest of our request. And let's not forget the headers, same way we did for the HTTP action. We have set up our pre-authenticated action. Let's save it and run a test. And as you can see, we have a green tick, meaning that our pre-authenticated action has ran successfully. If you click on it to inspect it, you'll see the same results as we get from the one below it. And we didn't need to get the authentication token or pass the authentication token to it. And now you can use the output directly in your flow. No need for tokens and HTTP actions with this one. It's much easier and secure. In this video, we've covered how to get the tenant ID, client secret, and API endpoints, getting an authentication token using Postman, calling an API in Power Automate, and sending an email notification, simplifying the process with pre-authenticated actions in Dataverse. If you missed the previous video, check it out to get the full context of where this came from. If you've enjoyed this in-depth walk, give us a like, share your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.